Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net with your look ahead video on Wednesday, the 6th of January. Thanks again for watching. Now we can send you an email when these videos are updated. Just send us an email to generalweather-subscribe at weatherweb.net. That's the address on the screen here, and we'll add you onto our alert list. Much talk of colder weather and yes, snow on its way for next week. I'll just take you through the charts. I think firstly it's important just to note this isn't anything exceptional. It's just a normal hit of cooler winter weather. It's nothing that's going to stand out as extraordinary. Certainly nothing to be sort of jumping up and down about. Yes, our favourite newspapers may well start to put headlines in like blizzards are a-coming, but those blizzards are a-coming just across the mountains of Scotland. We could see some snow showers during next week. I'll show you a snow forecast chart in just a moment, but it's certainly one not to get too excited about, although I guess after the horrendous weather that we've had during the last couple of months, actually it's going to be quite nice to see the sunshine and perhaps a little bit of frost and even a little bit of snow for some of us. Now this is the forecast chart for next Sunday, and picks up quite nicely on the low pressure across Scotland. It's this cold air coming into the back of the low that we have to watch. Because by Monday, the first low's cleared off out here. The second one here, this is a trough that's swinging its way eastwards. And what that then does, into Tuesdays, it swings eastwards. And as that low goes eastwards, so it drags in this colder air. In fact, we've got to watch this low, because if it produces anything more than sort of light to moderate rain, what we could find is that it turns increasingly to sleet and snow over the hills of southern England and then drags in snow showers behind it through Scotland, northern England, parts of Northern Ireland and into Wales as well. Probably late on Tuesday, and then it's Wednesday that we start to feel the real chill. What's interesting on these charts are these little dips here in the isobars. Those are little troughs that are spinning up in the flow, and as I told you yesterday, what we find when we get this cold north to northwesterly flow is that the air mass is quite unstable, so we get these clumps of showers kind of forming together and then moving south and southeastwards with that northwesterly flow. So if you're in the line of one of those showers, it could be that you get several hours worth of snow showers on and off, so a covering of snow is entirely possible across just about anywhere across the country, really. I mean, I think mainly it's going to be across more northern and western areas. It's areas aligned with the wind, but you can't rule them out down towards the south as those move south with the flow. And this is the forecast chart for Thursday, and again you see troughs in here. There's one in here, there's another one in here, and there's one cleared southwards here. So showers will be moving southwards, and there'll be snow showers moving southwards with that flow, so remaining cold through Thursday and into Friday as well, although notice that by Friday the ridge starting to build in from the west, then collapses its way southwards through the country. And remember again what I said to you was that that ridge would collapse away to the south and this flow would connect through here, which is exactly what's forecast to happen, hence the reason for temperatures coming up once again. But perhaps it may just stay a little bit chillier across Scotland. What we then need to watch for is actually the flow itself, the jet itself being forced back southwards, cutting off this system down here, again creating a westerly flow across the top, but potentially one from a cooler source. So something that we need to watch, but we're not going to really go away from our forecast for January, which was for that brief cold snap at the beginning, which is what we're about to see, then going milder and more unsettled mid-month, then going very cold right at the end of the month, and perhaps then staying chilly for February. 850 temperatures looking like this. If you want to know about the 850 temperatures and why we use them, have a look at weatherweb.net and click on the Weather School channel. You'll see there that I've put up a video about exactly why we use 850 temperatures and what they mean. So you see here the forecast for the next 10 days is for the temperatures to come down, but look then as that southwesterly flow comes in, so the temperatures begin to rise by the end of next week. Forecast snow cover looking like this. This is the forecast for next Wednesday night running into Thursday morning. And you can see here it's got a forecast of snow cover across much of the high ground of Scotland, running down through the Pennines, the North York Moors as well. Parts of Western Ireland, bits and pieces across Wales too, and bits and pieces across East Anglia. And really, you can't rule out a dusting of snow just about anywhere by the time you're getting into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. And there's fairly good agreement across the models that this is the way things are going to go. Now, the CFS picks up for this week on the idea of low to normal heights across the country, the idea of the jet being forced southwards but staying largely unsettled with that jet forced south. And then for week 2, It builds the ridge off towards the west, which as we've just seen, the trough off towards the east, and there is that north to northeasterly flow. This from the 13th to the 19th, I think that position dominated probably by the middle to latter stages of next week. Although, as I say, I think what happens is this ridge collapse away to the south during the latter stages of next week, as the ECMWF showed. Having said that, the CFS goes against that idea. It wants to keep the trough towards the east, keep the ridge off towards the west, and keep us in a cold northwesterly flow. It wants to maintain that wintry pattern through week 3, which is the 20th to the 26th of January, and it wants to keep it going again through the 27th to the 2nd of February. So it has a trough here, it has a trough in the Atlantic, high the normal highs out here, and it kind of does that sort of flow. So it actually wants to put us in more significant wintry type conditions. I think the CFS has gone over the top with this, but considering how good the CFS has been, it's certainly one that raises an eyebrow, but I don't think this is the way this is going to go. I think the cold snap we've got coming up is going to be a brief affair. As a knock-on into February, as I said to you, our forecast is for February to actually go cold. But this is what the CFS is saying. It's going again for another warm month across the UK and very warm across central parts of Europe. And it tries to keep February wet as well, very wet across western coast, putting the jet stream through here. As I say, we're not really buying into that because that's going back to the pattern that we've had in January. We're still going to go with the idea of a colder, drier February. But of course, it's long-range forecasting, so anything can change. Now, I've been asked a lot about confidence levels in the forecast for next week for this cold weather that's arriving. This is the forecast 7 to 10 day mean of the 500 millibar flow, taking us from next Wednesday through to Saturday the 16th. So what we have here is ECMWF, we've got the GFS in the middle, we've got the Canadian at the end there, and just notice the similarities. Ridge here, trough here, ridge here, trough here, ridge here, trough here. So actually, it builds our confidence that we are going to be seeing this cold snap next week. And you've only got to look at the other features around the globe. So you look at the troughs, you try and match them up, and they're all pretty much in situ with each other. So again, another factor to build our confidence in the cooler forecast for next week. So again, it's worth just reiterating this is a normal hit of wintry weather, and I urge the snow geese amongst you not to run around saying Simon says it's going to be a real winter wonderland next week. I don't think it's going to be that. Yes, it's going to be cooler, but it's not going to be mega cold by any means. So I'm trying to keep a lid on this one, as you can tell. Although, as I say, you know, some of us are going to see snow. It's just a shame that whenever you mention snow, you know that the press are thinking kind of 4 foot deep drifts and the winter of 1947 or 1963. But still, what can we do about it? Nothing at all. Right, just a reminder, if you wanted to send you an email when the video is updated, send an email to the address at the top of the screen there and we'll add you onto the list. Don't worry, we don't spread your name around to anybody else. But I will leave you with that for now, and whatever you're doing, thanks again for watching. Keep the sun shining and bye for now.